with the 6 habits of highly resilient, joyful, fully living people. So, what's the next one? Number 5 is to stay connected. Now, what I've observed too, and what my experience has been, is that, I've been through 9/11, and of course that had a dramatic impact on speaking and everything else as well, and the global financial crisis, and, my age, I've been through a number of things, going bankrupt, to a bankruptcy trustee, those sorts of things, and yet COVID, those experiences connected people. It pulled people together into a sense of community. The bushfires, the terrible bushfires that happened in Australia and are happening in California now, it's pulling people together. Communities come together. Countries reach out to support each other. But what's happened with COVID? It's kind of like a bra, lift and separate, but it hasn't lifted anybody up. It's squished them down and separated and isolated everybody. And the quickest way to destroy the human spirit is to separate people, to isolate them, to make them feel lonely and disconnected. I have my mum died many years ago now, but I have a surrogate mum who's 94, and she's in a nursing home. She only went in March, January, February. And so I talked to her the other night. She's a remarkable woman. She's astonishing. She's as sharp as a tack in her brain. Her body's failing a bit, but she was doing brilliantly well before she was isolated in the box that she now lives in, her room. She saw her daughter and son-in-law for the first time in 6 months this week. And it's in the last month, as she talks to me, that she has started to say how isolated and lonely she's feeling. And that is like a death knell. We can't do that to humans. So understand, first of all, you need to connect with your heart and start to feel if you haven't been feeling much. And it's not an easy process. I didn't even know I didn't feel for a very long time. And I know I'm going to sound like an idiot. And all of those of you who can feel really well may not have had the experiences I've had where I shut my capacity to feel down. I functioned very well. I was, if you looked at me, I was very successful in everything I did. But I didn't know, I actually, wasn't feeling lots and lots of stuff. And it was all suppressed. And it just sat there like a big boil. And it had to come out, and it did this year. And it was an extraordinarily painful process, and one of the most liberating, and one of the ones I'm most grateful for. So understand, reconnect with your own heart, with what really matters to you, and start to make decisions to honor what matters to you, to honor yourself. Because, joy stands for just one you. You are unique and extraordinary and fabulous. And if, as I said that, you had a little voice story going on in your head saying, "You're not fabulous, you suck," then that's a story you've got to get rid of, because it's not true. You are an astonishing being. The moment you were born, there was a unique energy. When the egg is fertilized by the sperm, at that moment on electron microscopy, we can see a flash of light. And it isn't a flash of light that goes out. It's a flash of light that comes in, and that's you. That's your essence. That's the unique energy that you bring as a gift to the world. And one of the first steps, if you don't see that in yourself, is to start to work out what really matters to you, and then honor it and weave it into your life and start to make more of those things that matter, more important parts of your life. And that's one of the ways you can connect to your heart. And when you're connected to your heart, your resilience is through the roof. And then the other way to shoot your resilience into the stratosphere is to stay connected to other people's hearts. We're humans. We're not meant to be isolated creatures. That's why we live in villages and tribes, and that's why it takes a village to raise a child. And when you have a premature baby, early on, they used to shove them into humidity cribs and let them be in there on their own. And what we've discovered is that, babies need touch. They need connection. They need communication via touch. They need that heart-to-heart sensing. And so with preemie babies now, they really encourage the parents to touch the baby, to massage them, to make sure they're connected to them. We're humans. We are all connected anyway. If you look at quantum physics, we're not separate entities. You are never, 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 never separate. Never. You know, we are giant bioelectric currents. The human body is a giant bioelectric current. And every electric current, whether it's a bioelectric current, meaning it's a biological one, or it's an electric current, like a manufactured one, they all produce a magnetic field. And quantum physics has shown us, and there's also an organisation called heartmath.org. You can have a look at them. They have great research. And they've shown us that the heart generates an electric current about 60 times more powerful than any other organ in the body, because every organ in your body generates its own electric current. Surprise! And some of you will know it, of course. And the heart, its magnetic field that comes from the electric current, extends 6 feet from your body. And anyone within that 6 feet sphere of you, they are affected and influenced by the field of your heart. And it breaks my heart to hear the social distancing rule. Now, I'm not saying go up and hug somebody who's sniffling or infected, but you know, you be more than 6 feet away from someone and you can't feel their heart. Not so well. And that heart-to-heart connection is absolutely critical. So reach out and touch people. Touch them emotionally. Touch them with your hands that are washed at this point. But, you know, be sensible and don't be paranoid. Because if you do all that, you give in to the fear. And we are all living in this giant field of fear. Stop. Be informed. Don't be fearful. Be informed. Take responsibility for yourself.
Always look on